Okay, thanks for everyone's attendance this afternoon to this media Q&A, along with the Ontario Hockey League and our new exclusive streaming partner, FloSports. Joined this afternoon by myself, your moderator, Josh Sweetland, OHL Commissioner Bryan Crawford, along with FloSports CEO Mark Floreani, along with General Manager Josh Siskin. Thanks for tuning in today. Just a quick overview. We'll have a few words from each of our panelists this afternoon, followed by a media Q&A, and I'll walk you through the steps in terms of how you can enlist yourself in the queue to ask a question here shortly. This is being recorded and will be posted following the event on FloHockey. The OHL can make a recording available to media on the call. Following the conclusion of the proceedings here, we can do that. Maybe just reach out to me, Josh Sweetland, jsweetland@chl.ca, if you have any specific needs around that, and I could follow up with you. First, we'll hear from OHL Commissioner Bryan Crawford this afternoon to maybe tell us a little bit about this exciting 7-year media partnership with FloSports, bringing the Ontario Hockey League into a whole new ecosystem. Bryan, tell us about it.
Thanks, Josh, and thanks everybody for joining us today. Fantastic day. Really excited to, I think, while we've officially announced the partnership, officially kick things off with the dawn of a new season upon us just in about a week's time. So the new partnership with Flow is encompassing across all of our properties and all of our media assets when it comes to our streaming platform. And we're excited because this provides a brand new opportunity for our fans to engage in our league in a way that they will find to be a huge improvement from where we were before, from the quality of the broadcast to the features within the broadcast, to the access to other sport properties and other hockey properties that FloSports offers, which we're incredibly excited about. The chance to see prospects, the chance to see alumni playing in other leagues, as well as watching their favorite OHL team. In addition to some of the great things that we're bringing to the product just in terms of how our consumers will consume it, we're also really, really excited about some of the additional feature content and some of the other special content that we'll create in partnership with FloSports over the coming seasons to really storytell more about our great league and all of the people that are in it. So we're really excited about this new opportunity to bring our game to more and more fans, to bring our game to fans that are following other leagues through FloSports that will now have a chance to see the OHL as well, and the chance for our fans to then consume other sports properties and other hockey leagues as well. So we're really excited about this new partnership. It's a fantastic day for the OHL and for all of our fans.
Thanks, Bryan. Of course, really grateful for the pre-existing partnerships we have with some of our local TV providers and Rogers TV, Eastlink, and Your TV, kind of providing some of the production and broadcast behind what fans will see across the FloHockey network in the Ontario Hockey League this coming season. Up next, wanted to introduce FloSports CEO Mark Floreani. Mark and I were chatting prior to today's Q&A, and he was telling me a little bit about his background, most notably originally being from Chicago, though I know Flo operates out of Austin, Texas now, as well, with an office in Kitchener, which, if anyone following along on social media was tracking, you guys were in Kitchener yesterday for a little visit there. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about Flo as a whole and how your trip to Ontario has gone so far.
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you so much. Thank you, Bryan. I got to hire you. You did a good job there. No, yeah, we're super excited to be here in Ontario. Waterloo is our second home here. We have about 50 people in Waterloo, and so we're excited to expand our partnership here with the O and the Q. And we really focus on is really growing our sports every day and really trying to make a better and better customer experience for our fans. And so adding the O and then the Q here is really going to push our hockey product further. But on top of hockey, we have about 30,000 plus more events, sports, that you'll get access to if you sign up for Flow.
Thanks, Mark. Would also like to take a moment to introduce FloHockey General Manager Josh Siskin. Josh, maybe you can tell us a little bit about your function with FloHockey and just the overall excitement about having the Ontario Hockey League on board.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Josh. We are thrilled to be here. I'm Josh Siskin, the GM of FloHockey. I spent about 10 years with the Minnesota Wild organization, working on media rights, investor transactions, sponsorships, revenue growth. and came on board with FloHockey about 2 years ago to lead the business from a strategy perspective, a growth perspective. And so in the last 2 years, we've seen really great growth about bringing on the AHL, the SHL, and now the OHL, as well as the QMJHL. We're going to have 20,000 live hockey events this upcoming year. Those will be available on platform as well as live to social on some of our social channels. We saw as high as 120 and 200,000 viewers on some of those live to social events. And bringing on the OHL, Ontario, as well as the Q should only elevate the customer experience, elevate the offering, which we already believe is the strongest, best offering in the marketplace within the hockey world. And so we're thrilled to have the Ontario Hockey League come on board. We're going to be offering content support, marketing support, customer service support, all based out of our Waterloo office in Canada. So we don't only talk about hockey, we don't only breathe hockey, but we have a place in Canada and we're growing that presence as well. And so thrilled to be a part of the journey of the O and bringing that to our customers.
Thanks, Josh. Maybe just a couple follow-ups from myself. The first being one real interesting part of this relationship and part of the Flow offering as a whole is the reality that OHL fans, when they purchase a subscription, can also track OHL alumni in the American Hockey League, the ECHL. But not only that, for those who follow prospects, they can follow young players in the GOJHL, the OJHL, and whatnot. Kind of an interesting dynamic on both ends of the development spectrum.
Yeah, and I would just note, so within the Canadian junior hockey system, this year we're going to have over 90% from that junior B level all the way up through major juniors, right? So not only do we have the the OHL and the QMJHL, we also have the majority of the junior A with 7 of the 9 CJHL leagues, as well as the BCHL. And then within the junior B, we have the majority of those properties as well, including the US junior properties. So if you are a prospect fan, if you are a Canadian junior fan, if you just want to see prospects that are the future stars of tomorrow, looking back at the last couple drafts, FloHockey will now be the home of over 70% of NHL drafted prospects. And so we're thrilled that fans of the OHL and beyond can follow players, alumni, and follow that journey, whether it's pre-draft or post-draft, as they try to reach the ultimate goal of playing in the NHL.
One more question from myself, but before I get to that, just to address the media listening in on today's call, if you have a question you'd like to ask any of these 3 gentlemen, feel free to use the raise hand function. I believe it's located on the lower bottom toolbar of the Zoom interface. That will put you into the queue to ask a question, which I will get to in just a moment. So any of you who do have a question, feel free to use that function right now, and we'll come your way in a second. But one more for Josh, kind of unique to this relationship. Obviously, it's very centered on streaming, but I think another area that's really interesting about FloHockey is just the content creation realm. Guys like Chris Peters, I know Liz Child running socials. That's a real big part of this partnership as well, isn't it? Just in terms of covering the Ontario Hockey League and telling its story from the start to the end of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. And we really look at it as a differentiator for us, right? We're not somebody who's just a streaming partner. We're a full media partner, whether that's content, as you mentioned, or marketing and customer support. But particularly on the content side, Chris Peters, as you mentioned, I mean, the credibility, the knowledge base, the passion in his prospect coverage, the draft rankings he does, and then the draft coverage he does is second to none in our estimation. Liz Child as well, working on the operational side for our social media team. And we're actually going to be bringing on dedicated Ontario content member for our staff to cover the OHL and the CHL at large, so that not only do we have our content team, but we have somebody dedicated living and breathing within the Ontario area that'll be traveling around covering all the OHL teams. You probably have already seen, Sweets. We've started rolling out our OHL season previews, team by team basis. And so that's just a small taste of what's to come as part of this long-term partnership. And we are thrilled to expand the reach, the audience, the eyeballs that's well-deserved for the Ontario Hockey League, and we believe one of the top prospect leagues in the world. So content will certainly be a major emphasis, and we look forward to engaging with the fans.
Thanks, Josh. Our first question this afternoon comes from Brandon Caputo with the Armchair GM Sports Network. Brandon, you can go ahead.
Awesome. Thanks, gentlemen. My first question is for Josh. As far as what people should expect in the coming years. You talked about, Josh already sort of discussed the content creation side, but maybe ideas to innovate for where the future of streaming and or content creation is going. Sort of what are you expecting to not only do this season, but growing into the next couple seasons, 7-year agreement, a lot of runway there. So is there anything that's sort of in the works that you're looking for to do in future years, not just this season?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, short term things like the prospect rankings, goal high, all the different top 10 lists, fights, hot goals, highlights in games, really focusing in on rivalry games and the drive to the playoffs. But when you talk about innovation, you look at some of the content we've done around the AHL property, for example, using meta glasses, to really highlight, really doing a deep dive and behind the scenes all access pieces with the teams. We'll be bringing all of that to the OHL and even more as this. And as you mentioned, a 7-year agreement allows us to really invest into the OHL, into our content offering. And so we'll continue to innovate. But like I mentioned, we'll be constantly doing things like the meta glasses, mic'd up series, making sure that we're doing interviews with coaches and players and prospects. So we'll be doing a deep dive into the teams, the players, the coaching staffs, so that the fans can really engage on a behind the scenes, deeper level, maybe more so than it's happened in the past.
Josh, you want to
product and distribution?
Yeah, talk about that, and also the connection between our data
Absolutely.
and our stats, and now what we can do with it on the streaming platform.
Yeah,
now.
that's a great call out. So, part of this media partnership is League Stat, which is a software solution we have. That's a scoring solution and data solution. The CHL is going to be a partner with Flo for a similar 7-year term. And so what that allows us to do is to really fully integrate the data and statistics, whether that's as part of the broadcast themselves or as part of the game center experience, right? So you could log on to the app, pull it up. Not only will you see a live shot chart, right? All of the live box score in data. So really a deep dive into some advanced stats that you probably wouldn't have seen previously, whether through CHL TV or through some of the linear partners, but really an ability for us to mirror and marriage that data with the live game experience. And again, as this partnership evolves, we're going to continue to really utilize that data and that unique opportunity to incorporate that within the broadcast themselves. And just from a, production standard, one of the big things that we're pushing on and harping on with all of our league partners is raising the quality, right? Making sure that when a hockey consumer tunes in to FloHockey, that they're seeing the highest quality stream available. So pushing all of our partners to 1080p, 60 frames per second, so that when you're watching the game, you feel the same way as when you're watching an NHL game or a game of that level. And so that's the expectation. And then taking it even a step further, we're really trying to be agile in how we get this content out to our fans, right? You heard me mention kind of briefly the Live to Social. That's a big program of ours that we're going to utilize. The OHL is going to have a game of the week. That's going to be in front of the paywall on social channels that'll be available to all of our fans. So a good opportunity to kind of get a taste of that offering. And we're constantly looking, whether it's working with the OHL's linear partners or other opportunities that come across, how do we always expand the reach, the audience, and the eyeballs on our league partners, and really fulfilling the Flo mission of pushing these sports forward and investing in these communities.
In the short term, just in terms of the innovation on the short term, on the distribution front. So as of right now, you can download native apps, the Flo native app on Android, on iPhone, on Apple TV, on Fire Stick, on Roku. But we will be launching Samsung, LG, and Vizio. So you'll be able to have that, and just on the distribution front. And then, at Flo, our vision is to create the essential destination. And part of the essential destination, we think there's 3 pillars. There's obviously the live content, there's the shoulder programming, the content buildup, and then there's the stats. And so we have the assets, all 3 now together, and we will be pushing the product forward over the 7 years. That the product you see today, it's going to be a lot better by the end of this partnership.
I do have a follow-up for Mark as well. Sort of as FloHockey has expanded and grown as a company, how long have you sort of been looking into obtaining the Ontario Hockey League and the QMJHL, and why was it important for you to sort of increase the major junior coverage with already your current junior hockey coverage in Canada and the United States?
It's been I have a lot of white whales, but the OHL has been a big focus for over 5 years. Once we got into hockey, we want to find the leagues and the partners that have obviously a great product, obviously something that's going to elevate the subscription offering for our customers, but then the passion, right? Yesterday I was at the Kitchener Rangers, right, and they have 6,500 people coming every night for those games. There is so much passion around the O, and this has been something that we have been working on for well over 5 years, and we couldn't be more excited to have them on the platform, and just adding that for our customers.
And then one last question for me for Commissioner Crawford. Don't want to put you on the spot here, but with the ever-changing landscape of junior hockey, is this further confirming your hopes to possibly expand the reach and the interest of the league for the fans in Canada and the United States, and possibly help attract possible expansion efforts in Canada or the United States for new teams wanting to enter the league?
Well, I mean, everything that we do is ultimately about expanding our reach, reaching new fans, providing access to our league for more people and more communities. So, this is just another way in which we're trying to raise the profile of the OHL, of major junior hockey, of the great athletes and folks that we have in the league. So, I think that, for our existing fans who, followed our league on OHL TV and CHL TV previously, they now get the benefit of following our league and having access to all these other leagues as well. And we get the benefit of having all of those other fans that follow those other leagues now have access to our league. And so I think it's a great marriage to be able to achieve that kind of, dual purpose of expanding the number of communities that are familiar with and watching the OHL, and then providing more opportunities for our existing and current fans. And so, that's ultimately our goal with all the things that we're doing, whether it be in our media work, whether it be in our events and properties, is to grow the game and grow the reach of the league and be able to invest more and more into the product that we build on a daily basis.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brandon, for those questions. I have no further questions at the moment, so I'll give it just another minute here. But in the meantime, do know that this video is being recorded. Again, as I said off the top, if anyone requires anything specific from this, do shoot me a note, jsweetland@chl.ca, and we'll make sure we get it to you. But this will also be running across both the FloHockey platforms, and we at the OHL will have some follow-up on this as well. So
Josh, you highlighted it earlier. I think, one of the things that was really important to us and building out this partnership was the ability to have a mass distribution strategy, and continuing to, support a really, important demographic of our fans and our great partners, as you mentioned earlier, through community television, being able to continue to do that as we've done for many years, and the great work that the community television partners do in producing our game. You'll notice when looking at, some of the other leagues, the quality of our production is so much higher because of that work. So being able to have, carry that with us, continue to be on locally, continue to do things like Friday night face off, and provide an opportunity for people to engage with our league through social, and perhaps become, big fans of the league that then want to follow it on a daily and weekly basis. we're all part of that. And we've mentioned the creation of unique content before, and the storytelling angles. So just, I think, a really robust strategy that, Flo jumped right on board for and was really eager to get behind, that allows us to achieve all the things that, I just mentioned we're seeking to achieve on a daily basis. So I think the offering for, in terms of the product and what we're able to do now going forward, certainly puts the fan and our community first, in what they're now getting the opportunity to engage with. So it couldn't be a better partnership and win-win for everybody.
Thanks, Bryan. No further questions, so that will conclude this afternoon's Q&A. Thanks for everyone who tuned in. There is a good number of people here following along today. Hope everyone has a great rest of your day. We're looking forward to launching the Ontario Hockey League season. The puck drops Thursday, September the 18th. Thanks, everybody, and we'll talk to you again soon.